1-800-526-7977. That's the number for the law offices of Spar and Bernstein. Please jot it down.
Right now, all you need to do, this is what you need to do, okay? People who've been listening to me for a while who don't have my telephone number yet, what you need to do is dial this number right now. I have never met a human being who never needed a good lawyer. You're listening to a good lawyer. And you've been listening to this good lawyer for a while. I'm patting myself on the back, but it's the truth. And when you have that immigration problem, when you have that personal injury issue, you get into an accident, when you have that criminal defense issue, if you have a tax debt relief issue, let me talk quickly about all the different things that we do. And then what I'm going to tell people is to dial my telephone number, even if you don't have that problem today. Save my number for when you have that problem or when your friend or family member has that problem. Obviously, we have immigration. We're going to be answering your immigration questions in about 3 or 4 minutes. While we're waiting for you to call, I'm going to talk about all my other areas of law. So we're going to answer your immigration questions now. But we are now just as well known for personal injury. We have, from last year, the largest verdict for an automobile accident in New York State at $2.55 million. Nobody has a no-fault verdict for more money in New York State. We're being honored in New York Magazine with the largest verdict for 2011. There is no other law firm that can say that. There's only one law firm in New York State with the largest verdict for an automobile no-fault accident last year, and that's Spar and Bernstein. Now, when you go, you get, obviously, nobody wants to get injured, nobody wants to get into an accident, but when you do, not every law firm is equal. And how you get a large settlement, or you get a settlement that is worthy of your injuries or equal to your injuries, is the insurance companies know which lawyers are going to go to court and get a large verdict and basically spank them. Okay? They also know law firms that will never go to court ever and spank them. Those law firms will always settle for a lower amount than a law firm that is known for getting large verdicts, simply because the insurance companies are scared to go to trial against them. So we are now well known, certainly, for getting the largest verdict in New York State for 2011 for an automobile accident. We settled a malpractice case about 5 months ago for $2 million. That guy is very, very happy. We settled an automobile accident case earlier this year for $890,000 for a kid who got rear-ended in Suffolk County. These are all situations where the insurance companies saw who they were up against and started giving money well before we needed to go to trial. Now, sometimes insurance companies won't give that money, and we go to trial, and we do very well for our clients. But when you get into an accident, you really have to think long and hard. It's two issues. There are two issues when you get into an accident that have to be dealt with. Issue number one is, who's going to take care of me? Who's going to make sure that all my issues are resolved regarding this accident, that I'm getting good medical care, that my family's being taken care of? Who's going to be working with me as a team member, as my team member, because it's your team when you get into an accident? Who's going to be working with me as a team member to make sure I am dealt with properly? And obviously the other issue is, who's going to be able to get me the most money? Because the bottom line is, you're only injured once. You only have one time to go to a jury or to the insurance company to get you the largest amount of money that you can. You can't go back a second or a third or a fourth time. So you got to make sure that you're with people who are going to work with you as a team and who are going to strive to get you the largest amount of money that you would be entitled to based on your injuries. We have a track record of doing that. Obviously, prior successful results don't guarantee a similar outcome in the future, but I would argue that if I wanted to go, I got into a car accident, why would I go to any law firm when I'm listening to a law firm right now that got the largest verdict for 2011? But that doesn't mean it's just automobile accidents. It's construction accidents. It's medical malpractice. As I just finished saying, we just settled a case for $2 million for a medical malpractice case several months ago. And you only need one telephone number to know. It's the same number for immigration as it is for personal injury. And that is 1-800-526-7977. That's 1-800-JAM-7977. It's a special IRE Jam telephone number that identifies you as an IRE Jam listener. And what I would suggest to everybody out there, even if you don't have an immigration issue, even if you don't have, nobody's getting into an accident the moment I'm speaking right now, But these things happen, and when they happen, the last thing you need to worry about is who should I call, what was the name of that lawyer I listened to on iReJam. You have my telephone number. Save it for when that problem arises. Call now. You hang up after 10 seconds. My staff knows you're just calling to save the telephone number. You're not being rude. I give you permission. I also want to quickly mention about my tax debt relief department. If you are an independent contractor, because this usually goes with independent contractors. You're driving a cab, a truck, you're in construction, and you owe taxes or you've never filed a tax return or you failed to file a tax return, my tax debt relief department may very well be able to help you. And what we do is, even if you haven't filed a tax return in several years, we file your back taxes, and then we negotiate with the IRS to reduce your tax debt substantially. I always think about the client I had about a year ago. He was in deportation. He worked in construction, and the judge said, I'm going to give you back your green card in deportation because my immigration lawyers did a very good job, except I need you to come up with 5 years' taxes because a person of good moral character files their tax returns. And he came to me afterwards and he said, I went to some guy, other tax preparer, and I'm told that my taxes are going to be tens and tens of thousands of dollars because I haven't paid a tax return in 5 years. And I don't want to pay tens and tens of thousands of dollars. I'd rather go take the money and go home. So I'm going to take the order of deportation because I'm not paying back these taxes. I can't afford it. I'm going to be broke. And I said, well, why don't you speak to Sean Chi first in my tax debt relief department? He goes, well, what is Sean Chi going to do? Well, what Sean Chi does is he negotiates with the IRS. He says, listen, Mr. and Mrs. IRS, man, this is what my guy has, okay? He rents his house. He has a car. This is what he earns. This is what he has to pay for his rent. This is what he has to pay for his car to get to work. This is what he has to pay for his clothing. This is what he has to pay for his kid's school. And this is what he has to pay for food. And when all is done, he only has this amount of money to pay you in taxes. So let's negotiate it out because you're better to get something than nothing. And what Sean Chi did in this gentleman's case, is Sean Chi turned his $50,000 debt into making a payment of $20 a month for 5 years, which turned out to be $3,000.
Wow.
So that's a pretty good deal. This guy ended up winning his deportation case, filing his taxes, and paying $3,000 on a $50,000 tax bill. You think he's happy?
Extremely.
Now, you may not have any of these issues today, but I am telling you at some point, somebody you know or you yourself will have an immigration issue, will have an accident case, will have a tax debt relief. Save my telephone number. Obviously, if you have these issues, call and make an appointment. We don't want you to hang up if you have issues. All right, but let's go to the phone lines. We have people waiting?
Oh, and how? Good morning. You're live with your attorney, Brad Bernstein, and what's your question? Good morning.
Brad.
Hi, how are you?
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
I've just gotten my naturalization done, and I just get the letter to do the oath.
Right.
But on the back, they are asking a couple of questions about if you get in trouble with the law since your interview. And that includes, traffic offense.
Correct.
One of my cars was going, and it was captured through, one of the red light camera. So, of course, they send the ticket to the registered owner.
Right.
Does I have any kind of problem admitting that?
Right. You're not the registered owner.
I am the registered owner.
Oh, you're the registered owner. So what you just write down and say, yes, and you explain. You won't have any problem, but just obviously tell the truth. Well, you going through a red light, or I'll put it to you this way: a car you own going through a red light, being caught by a traffic camera, is not going to prevent you from becoming a citizen.
Okay. All right. So just admit the truth and do the right.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. Because it's going to have no effect on you whatsoever. But the last thing you want is 1 in a million they find out, hey, you got these traffic tickets and you didn't declare it. Now, we're going to go look into this more. So you might as well tell the truth because it has no effect on you becoming a citizen.
There you go. Let's take this call. Good morning. You're live with your attorney, Brad Bernstein.
Hello?
You're live. Go ahead.
Yes, hello. Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. I would like to ask you a question. My sister filed for my brother in April 2001. I just want to know when that 30 days is going to come back again.
All right, yeah, because it was current for a little bit, and then it retrogressed. They're in January right now, so my guess is over anywhere between the next 2 to 4 months.
Oh man.
Okay, now is this is your brother who's waiting for a green card?
Yeah.
Okay, where is he?
He's here.
Okay, has he filed his adjustment or he hasn't done anything yet?
He did before, but he was too late to this. No, he didn't do it properly, so they sent it back.
Okay, so then what I would suggest, right now they're up to January 8th, 2001. Give your brother my telephone number. Let him come in and see me. Let's not do it wrong the second time.
Okay, and then can I ask another question? My
Sure.
cousin, she already sending hers from that time when they was collecting, but she want to know they gotta know if she could travel because she got a travel document.
Well, I would suggest if there's an emergency, she can travel. But I would argue not to. There is case law out there now that says if you travel based on an adjustment through a marriage case and it's a short period of time, they cannot deny you your green card. I haven't seen them put that into effect with brothers and sisters yet. I would assume the same logic would apply, that if you have a pending adjustment and you do a short trip abroad and come back, you do not have a 10-year bar like they did 2 months ago or 3 months ago. But I haven't seen that logic applied yet to a brother-sister case, so I don't want to tell her it's okay to travel and then she run into a problem. I can tell you right now that if you're married to a citizen and you get a travel document, absolutely, and you can travel back and forth as long as it's a short trip.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, but the one who has the case pending, she should be done in another 3 or 4 months.
All right.
So the reality is, all goes well, she'll be home for Christmas.
Huh?
I said the reality is, all goes well, she will be home for Christmas. The one who has the pending case. I said the reality is, if all goes well, she will be home for Christmas.
Yeah.
All right.
You said the one that have it pending, she will be home for Christmas.
She should be, yes, the one that has the pending case.
But not my brother.
Your brother, no, he'll be next year.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. All right.
Well, good morning. You're live with your attorney, Brad Bernstein.
Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead.
Yes. I'd like to ask Brad, how long does the I-130 form take to approve?
5 months. 5.5
5
months.
months?
5 to 5.5 months.
Brad, I have another question. Is it okay for one to travel if they have my daughter, she was 17 years and 4 months old. When I hit her and she said she called Child Protective Service against me.
Wait, you're breaking up. Your daughter was 13 years and 5 months when what happened?
No, she was 17 years and 5 months old when I slapped her and she called Child Protective Service against me. Would that affect your citizenship? Or
She was 17 months and you slapped her, you said?
Yeah. She was rude.
Okay, so you got arrested for that?
No, nothing like that.
DJ Roy, I'm not sure what she's asking me.
No. I didn't get arrested or anything like that. They just have my name in their system.
Start from the
As
big
long
stuff.
as you don't have a conviction, you can travel.
Okay. Would that affect my citizenship too?
You're saying it low.
She's saying it very low, so
Right.
it's hard for me to understand.
What's she saying would
as
it
long
affect
as you
your
don't
citizenship?
have a conviction,
Okay.
if the police came and investigated something
No, nothing like
and you weren't arrested or the charges were dropped and you have no conviction, it's okay to travel.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Have a good one.
All right. Once again, the number to call to set up an appointment, 1-800-526-7977. That's 1-800-526-7977. Someone standing by to take call as we speak. And as always, Brad, we say...
Prior results do not guarantee similar outcome in future cases. To set up an appointment for a personal consultation with Brad Bernstein, call 1-800-526-7977. That's 1-800-526-7977.
And I think she was stealing a call, Brad, at work, so she didn't want to really
I
talk
see.
to
Maybe
talk
that's
to-
why.
Maybe that's
Right.
why.
She didn't want her coworkers to know her problem. Maybe.
Exactly. 1-800-526-7977. If you want someone to know your problems, this is the number you need to call. Call, set up an appointment, speak to one of the attorneys today. They're standing by right now as we speak. 1-800-526-7977. And do not worry about costs. Brad has very affordable payment plans. You'll be very, very surprised and pleasantly surprised when Brad tells you what's going to cost you per month for, of course, legal counseling. And again, 1-800-526-7977. Thanks a lot, Brad, and you'll be back on later on with Dubmaster.
Yes, thank you.
All right, take care. That's the law offices of Spar and Bernstein. Give them a call today. As always, working extremely hard. Very, very hard.